everybody, happy International Women's Day. My name's Claire. I'm a physicist. I wanted to reach out to ladies considering their career choices in STEM today and also share a few thoughts of my own about my career so far in STEM. I'm a physicist. That means that I studied physics, which is a very broad subject. It goes anything from the philosophical side of the expanding universe down to the weird world of the quantum and small things to real world everyday problems that we see every day and we want to solve. I find it truly inspiring. I certainly don't understand all of it or even a fraction really. It's very complex, but it does give me an insight into worlds that I would otherwise have no idea about. And this I find really inspiring. Now, I think that other women find this inspiring too. There is an organization called Engineering UK who did a recent survey, and they showed that for most STEM subjects, girls outperform boys at A level by quite a lot. This is very encouraging news. But when I look around my workplace, I find that there aren't many women. And I wonder why. I'm not the only one to be wondering this. There's lots been talked about it and written about it. And there's a lot of activity going on in this area, as I'm sure you will have heard. One of the reasons may be that there's just not many role models. There's not many female role models in STEM subjects in the STEM workforce. When I was at school, I had 3 female teachers for STEM subjects, 2 for maths, 1 for chemistry, Mrs. Wilson, Mrs. Prince, and Mrs. Foster. And they were very great educators and great communicators. They shared a lot with the class. Since then, I've had 1 female line manager. I enjoyed working with her very much. I found her style quite different from what I was used to. And for the positive, she was really good. I enjoyed working with her very much. But besides that, there are very few role models, or there used to be. It's slowly changing. Many companies and organizations are now realizing that they're missing 50% of the workforce. That means they're missing 50% of approaches to how problems can be solved, people with different backgrounds who tackle issues, who run teams differently. They change the workforce dynamic. This 50% women is missing. So slowly they're trying to redress the balance. And this is a wonderful thing. But it's still a very difficult thing to do because typically we gravitate towards people that we identify with, that we can relate to. And that means if a lot of interviews are being carried out by men, the chances are that they will draw from what is going to be a majority pool of men, at least at the moment. This can give some advantages. So they will employ essentially men because they relate to them. Also, they have to answer to a boss, and so because they're accountable to the boss, they're probably going to employ people or want to employ people who are similar to them because it gives them more confidence and they're more comfortable with it. So, all right. But things are not so bleak. I think that the balance in the workforce is changing. There's a lot of proactive things going on to change that. And I think women need to step up and take that challenge too. I wanted to share a couple of things with you when I started my career, the things that I felt then and I still need to check myself against. I share them in case you feel them. You know you're not alone. So the first one that I've noticed in myself and in my female STEM colleagues is that how we use language. So the way we use language is typically about we and us, our team. It's very collaborative vocabulary. And I've noticed that my male colleagues don't tend to do that. It tends to be quite often, I did this, I did that. Why does this matter? In fact, in a workplace, it can build, if we use collaborative language, it can build very harmonious teams. And this is a really good way to work. But if you consider, for example, in a job interview, or if you're negotiating for a pay rise, you really need to be you. I did this, I did that, I'm worth it. So we're very good at advocating for other people. We're very good at being collaborative, but we need to be more assertive ourselves sometimes. So nobody really likes a big head, somebody bragging all the time. But there are times when you need to blow your own trumpet. Otherwise you end up playing second fiddle. Nice musical analogy. So if you think that this is the case, try standing in front of the mirror and get comfortable with saying I. just for those occasions when you really need it. The second thought I want to share with you is about confidence. I've heard male colleagues stand up and talk about things, and I've really wanted to challenge what they've said. And then I think to myself, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I missed something at the start of the talk. Maybe I'm not completely sure. Maybe I missed something. Maybe there's something someone else knows. Maybe everybody knows it and I just don't. And I start to wonder whether if I say something, they'll just dismiss me or belittle me. Maybe they won't believe me next time. Maybe they'll just cast me aside somehow. And I feel somewhat intimidated. And so in the end, I just don't bother to say anything. And I stay quiet. And I start to doubt my own abilities. And I think maybe I'll be found out. Maybe they'll discover something and they'll just pull me to pieces. Now, I've found out in the course of researching for the piece that I'm talking to you about today that I'm not actually alone. This is well documented. It's called Imposter Syndrome. Now, that conjures up men, obviously, in trench coats and trilbies in 1950s black and white movies. But actually, Imposter Syndrome is well catalogued. A lot has been written about it. And it's this feeling of deep doubt. That you're just not good enough, that you'll be found out, and so on. So it's not true. It's not true. I have to check myself and I have to say, no, actually, I know about this and I have every right to ask my questions. So if you're feeling that you are doubting yourself, remember that you can ask. You're not alone with this feeling and you have every right to ask too. So be confident in what you do. So I guess to wrap up, we could say that the number of young women entering STEM careers is growing. There are more role models coming along. We're getting a better balanced workforce. And organizations, companies are realizing how important it is to have a balanced workforce and the benefits that this can bring. And we, ladies, we have to step up and understand that actually we need it. We must get in there because the whole future depends on STEM. Think of anything you want, from fashion, economics, manufacturing, I don't know, travel, the internet, whatever it may be. Everything is based ultimately on STEM. So if half the population, ladies, if we are not in there, then someone else is shaping our future. So we need to step up. We need to get involved. So reaching out to all those ladies considering their STEM choices today, I wish you lots of luck. I can tell you that it's a brilliant journey. You wouldn't regret it. Science is wonderful and technology, it's the way ahead. It's really interesting and we can shape our own futures together. So thank you for listening and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye now.